I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, perfect now. Yeah,
Oh,
sorted,
so,
sorted.
so what? Do you live in Libya?
No, I work here.
Or you work here?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I work in loads of places, but this is one of the places I sort of like come to.
So anyway, you been you've been here about 10 weeks, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
How are you doing?
Fantastic. Um, I
Good.
mean, I try as much as I can to write something every day. I try as much as I can
And we
to sort of like,
appreciate that because the interactions is what keeps the community going. We were trying to
yeah,
create
yeah.
a community, yeah, like that.
And that's what makes me keep going as well. I mean,
Good.
I'll tell you my story, like
Okay. Yes, yeah.
So about 2.5 years, I've always been quite fit, always, I was in the military and I, run and blah 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 and all that type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
And I've spent time on oil rigs and things like that, and always
yeah,
used the gym and done things like insanity works out and all them type of
yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So I've always
Insanity.
kept myself quite fit. But I had a hernia operation done about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and I haven't seemed to recovered from it. It's sort of like every time I went to do exercise, after about 3 or 4 days, it started hurting again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I stopped it, and at the same time, I wasn't sort of like eating the right
Getting to,
food,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that, and I ended up becoming a fat cunt. To be quite blunt, yeah.
yeah.
99 kilos I went up to. My normal weight is about 70, 72. So I went
Okay.
up to about nine. And it was the wife. My wife's Colombian, and she's quite a straight shooter.
Yep.
That she said, look, you've got a problem with your kidney, with your liver, sorry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? She's just done something with some Colombian doctor,
Yeah.
because she has a low blood count with her blood, and
Okay.
it's a
Okay.
couple of levels below leukemia or something like that. So
Yeah.
anyway, she's sort of like gone into like doing her sort of like stuff, eating natural foods and eating the right proteins with the right
Yep.
oils and all that type
Yeah.
of stuff, um, and I sort of like helping her along, but not really interested in it because I don't know, I suppose because I was that sort of like, I don't know, um,
You didn't really think there was much wrong. You didn't think there was
yeah,
a, yeah.
not
What
not
I
as
say,
motivated as it were,
what I say is that unless people usually come this, join this when there's something not right, and when you
yeah,
get, especially when you get to, I don't know how old you are.
56,
You know, when you get around that age, that's when things start setting in. So it's
yeah.
the best time. The best, anyway, so yeah, you were not really listening to him.
Yeah, so I mean, I was helping her along because it's her journey and all that type of stuff. And then she said something like, you've got insulin resistance, like, I mean, you need to sort it out because you just become fatter and fatter and fatter and have a heart attack. I was like, well, but no, my heart's fine. I've got one of these eye watches, and it tells me everything. And I've
Nonsense.
got Garmin,
No,
tells
no,
me
no.
and it's fine. You know what I mean? And she said, no, no. And anyway, I was just flicking through Instagram or whatever, and I come across one of your videos, and I sort of went, fucking hell, my wife's been speaking to that man. You know what I mean? She's telling him everything that I need to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I thought, right, I'm going to sort this out. So anyway, I had a word with my son. My son's 36, he's a little bit of he's got put a little bit of wood on as well, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And he said, yeah, I know that, but he said, I follow him on TikTok or wherever it is, and he says, he's great. Anyway, I watched a few of your videos and that, and you just sort of like give me the motivation to do something about it, you know what I mean? And I thank you very much for that, because it's
Thank
been
you.
a
Thank you.
fantastic. When my task finished in Ukraine,
Yeah,
the task in Libya come up, and this task involves going different places, but the task in Libya come up, and I thought, oh, great, can't drink there, you know what I mean? I'm not going to
yeah,
get
yeah.
taken down the pub. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, well, I'll come and do this. So, what? 10 weeks ago, I
That
suppose,
makes
10
sense. Yeah, yeah,
weeks
yeah.
ago. Yeah, I thought, right, I'm going out there. I'll start your program, And I think I've got it at quite a cheap discount rate of some
Yeah,
sort,
yeah, yeah,
because it
yeah.
wasn't the horrendous amount of money that I seen on there, like 300-400 quid, which is
Oh no,
as far as I'm concerned, well
it's
worth it.
been dropped because we got a team. Huh? It's not my team, so we've actually brought the price down again because I want to reach as many people as possible. But they have to they look at it from a business standpoint and they compare it to other people doing the same thing. Like
Yeah,
Eddie, you're not charging enough. But anyway, that's neither. We brought it down again.
yeah, but well worth it anyway. Even if I'd paid the full amount, it'd been well worth it, So I come here. The hardest thing to buy is a good steak. You know what I mean? Because all the food here, you know, I mean, I don't know what religion you are, but it's all halal meat, and it's not you can't get the same ribeye here as you can
Yeah,
in the UK.
but I don't follow any religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe in God, but no, I don't believe in religion. I think it just
Good.
religions are very organized. I think it
Yeah.
just organized mid men are the ones that always organize religion, keep women down. And the smartest people I've ever met in my life have always been women. So I don't know why, so I'm not, a long story short, I don't do religion at all.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, the way that they kill animals here,
I know, yeah.
the meat's not the same, you know,
No,
and it's very, very tough, and it's tasteless, to be honest, you know.
yeah.
So anyway, I went out to butchers, local butchers, with sort of like some big, you know, butch men that took me round because like, I'll get kidnapped if I go outside, you know.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, I went around different butchers and stuff like that, and I took a selection of meat that I thought was good, and
Yeah.
it was all shit. But I ate it though, you know what I mean? But I kept to your diet. There's no way I can eat 6 eggs. I've tried it 100 times, and I can't do it.
Listen,
I can
I've
do
eaten
four.
12 before. I've eaten 14
Oh,
before.
yeah, no, I'm not an egg lover, but I thought, well, fuck it, I'll try it. You know what I mean? So I tried first time 6 eggs. No, couldn't do it.
How do you cook it though?
Oh, now I make an omelette, like you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, that's
an
it. It's
omelette with
easier to
mushroom,
eat more.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
perfect. I now like sort of like scrambled egg, but I'm
yeah,
shit
yeah,
at
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's electric cooker here, and you can't get the stuff right, you know, you can't get
yeah,
the heat
yeah.
right. So yeah, I just have omelette mushrooms in it, but at the moment I'm on tin mushrooms because it's not the season for mushrooms here.
But you
But
don't have to have mushrooms. You don't have to have mushrooms because I really I'm not great on tin stuff. I just think that even the lining of the actual tin. So you don't actually
yeah,
have to have mushrooms if you don't want them. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, oh yeah. Um, yeah, so you know, I kept to that diet, but at the same time, I do a lot of exercise as well. So I
Yes.
started my
Yeah.
exercise again. It was the same sort of like I
Same.
started the I call it a diet. Your diet, it's not.
The
It's a
life.
healthy way of eating.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah.
So I started that, and you know, within a week, I got the energy and the motivation to carry on. Not you know bags full of energy, but enough
Yeah,
energy in
yeah,
that
yeah,
to keep me going. And there was
yeah,
one day that I was just I because what I do is I run in the morning, I run or I walk, I
yeah.
then come back and I do. I don't know if you know this bloke Vince who does V shred. If you've ever
Yeah,
heard
no,
of
I
that,
know these people. I call them fads, but at the end of the day, he's
yeah.
teaching people to exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and that's I mean I brought into that a long time ago, and I still save
yeah,
all the videos, so I use
yeah,
that as doing my exercises, you know. So
yeah,
I do that in the morning, you know, the
yeah,
first day in the morning, as it were, and then in the afternoon, I go for a run, two three kilometers, and then I
yeah,
do that exercise again. Then I do a little bit of weights and stuff like that, you know, chest
yeah,
one day,
yeah,
biceps the next, you know,
yeah.
nothing
I
special,
got
you
you.
know. I don't look like the Incredible Hulk or anything. I just
Yeah,
doing it to lose weight
yeah,
because the thing on there is called fat loss extreme. So anyway, got no scales here, so I can't weigh myself. I was 99 kilos when I come here.
yeah.
5 weeks later, when I went home, got on the scales, 70, no, sorry,
Very
uh,
good.
80 kilos I was when I got back. And then a week later, I lost another 2 kilos.
But how do you
But
feel mentally and physically? How is that pain, the hernia thing?
oh, no pain there
It's
whatsoever.
crazy, isn't it?
I've got pains everywhere else, but not there. I,
That was inflammation.
Yeah, I think it was the scar tissue, you know,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
something
yeah, yeah,
pulling on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But I mean, at the moment, I've got a bit of a pain in my scapula there, which was from
yeah.
an old injury where
Injury.
I had a little bit of a rough and tumble with someone.
Yeah.
Um, and my knees are sort of like I slightly get pains in my knees, but it's nothing to worry about, you know.
Okay.
I'm I've only been back here a week, so I've been in the gym every day.
Yeah.
You know, not doing that in the gym, but you know, floor exercises and stuff like that, stretching
Yeah.
and things like that. And for the last couple of nights, I've been walking around like a, you know, like a robot that I've been, you know, covered myself in Viagra and just walking around as stiff as anything. You know? So, so I'm just coming down off that thing. I mean, I think sort of like part of my routine is normally to warm up and then to warm down. But I
Yeah.
hadn't been doing that last couple of days, so that's probably why I'm suffering with the lactic
Yeah,
acid type thing.
yeah, 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 yeah. But it's
Because
the thing is continue eating like this. Like my joint pain took a while. I mean, I've been eating like this for about 3 years now, actually more than 3 years. And my joint pain actually got better after nearly a year completely. All the pain went away after, because think about it, the inflammation didn't happen overnight. And
That's
it will
right.
take a little while of your body healing itself. Basically, what you're eating, you're giving your body the environment to repair, and then repair, like it will repair, but give it time, and try not to do crazy stuff, especially for your knees. Like, literally give them time to repair, because like it took me sometimes when I started doing that, after about a year, I go to the gym and train heavy because they felt a bit better, and then I would suffer later on because the wound wasn't completely healed. You know what I mean? So remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
it can repair itself on the inside as well. So give it time to repair. Even if you got to take it easy on like the leg training and stuff like that, take it a little easy until the inflammation goes down completely.
Yeah, I don't do no weight training on my legs at all,
Okay,
apart from
okay.
just static exercises like
Yeah, 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 yeah,
like squats and stuff like that. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? I run and I walk. That's basically what I do on my legs. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
but I don't have like the chicken legs, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, yeah,
which is good. My when I broke my Achilles tendon about 4 or 5 years ago, and I lost a lot of muscle mass on my left
yeah,
leg.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, I still have a little bit of pain from that. If I step wrong, if I walk, heel to toe normal, I don't get any pain.
yeah. You
Or
just
sorry, when I
yeah, yeah,
run. But if I tend to sort of like my feet tend to do that when I run,
yeah.
so I'm running on the outside. If I do that, I get like um it's like a cramping pain.
Okay,
I seem
okay,
to have um no real strength in the leg, if you know what I mean. But
okay.
it's something I've lived with, and
I
it's
mean,
it's something I can adjust.
maybe you may want to sort of exercise that leg by itself. Things like proper rehab, like leg extensions, pointing your foot at different angles, just by itself. Not a lot of
Yeah.
weight, just literally build the muscles around it. Because as you get to our age, it is very important to have leg strength. I can't
Oh
stress
yeah,
how
yeah,
important it. So when you talk about doing some static squats, use some resistance. It doesn't have to be a lot of weight, but do things like lunges and do more on the leg that's a bit weaker. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, 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 yeah,
you can. I've had to do that. I've had to do rehab like that back in the day when I used to train like an animal. You find that you've got an injury, and then slowly one leg becomes stronger than the other, and you've got to literally work on that leg more. So I do maybe 8 reps with a good leg, and then I do 12 reps with a bad leg, and then slowly, and then increase the weight on the leg. Eventually, it caught up. So you have to just like consciously go out of your way to strengthen the weaker leg.
yeah. I mean, what I've been doing is when I sort of like recovered from it, I went to do some physio, and the
Yeah,
physio just basically said, look, all you've got to do is stand on your tiptoes and touch 3 points on the wall.
yeah,
One is standing sort of like with your feet, put your hand up,
yeah,
draw a line there. The next one is on two tiptoes, and the next one is reach as far as you can on
yeah,
one
yeah,
one
yeah,
toe and do that. So I've done that quite a lot.
yeah, 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 yeah,
But it's sometimes it's very painful to do that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
so it sort of like dissuades me from doing it because I think, well, I might
But
do something
but,
wrong.
but try using, especially take something like the leg extension machine. And if you got one in the gym, use and
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you do is you point your toe that way, literally just hit the muscles from a different angle. That's what I did, and I've done that subsequently with a few of my clients who had like bad surgery or knee problems. The bad leg, just literally, and then with the squats, don't stop doing them. Just keep doing squats because you want to build your thigh muscles as well. You want to build your
yeah.
hamstring muscles and your glutes. That's important for for the future, especially when you get to our age. You need to do that. I'll be 63 next month.
Wow, wow,
Crazy,
wow.
crazy.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I can't believe it, but look, we're
yeah.
heading, we all get old, aren't we?
I mean, I do a lot of like fast walking.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Certainly when I'm at home. I mean, I've got a boxer, so
I walk uphill as well, if you can walk uphill. And when you're walking upstairs, take 2 steps at a time.
all right, yeah.
That's really good, yeah.
I'll show you the view from my window. There's no
Right.
hills here.
Woo! Yeah, that's really good. That's
That's
really good. Yeah.
Malta in the distance, but
Oh, okay. I, I,
but
I,
yeah,
I suppose one of the Libya's never been one place I would want to visit.
Yeah, it's not a holiday destination, definitely not.
No.
Yeah. And then people say, well, yeah, but you lived in Colombia. That's not a holiday destination, but fantastic place to live.
It is, yeah, but
Fantastic.
we got somebody coming up now. So thank you for joining the community. Thank you for being so active in the community, because we see you, and please keep healing yourself. Remember, this is not a fad, this is a lifestyle change. So please continue,
Yeah.
okay?
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the motivation,
Good, thank you.
and
You're
and the
welcome.
education,
You're welcome. I've been a food and whatever nerd for years, and eventually now I'm just sharing the knowledge, and it's helping a lot of people. Just now we're talking about um how they're saying that red meat is bad for you, and I'm thinking, how do they know? How have they followed somebody eating just red meat for years and years and years and thought, and that's going to go to give you colon cancer? They don't talk about alcohol. They don't talk about ultra processed foods. They don't talk about all these shitty grains that we eat. Just red meat, and it's
yeah.
crazy. But they made it up. They're going to blame something. Do you know what I mean?
But when you do the due diligence on that person, you find out that his family owned a
I
chicken
know.
farm. Do you know what I mean?
Honestly, thank you so much. Yeah,
You're welcome.
thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Take
Bye
care.
bye.
Bye bye.